They thought you lost. Now they are secretly living your nightmare. They thought you lost, but now they are secretly living the same nightmare they once watched you survive. They thought your pain was the end of you. They thought the betrayal, the silence, the disrespect, and the emotional confusion would leave you broken forever. They believed they had walked away with power while you were left carrying the damage. They thought they had won because you were quiet, but they misunderstood your silence. You were not silenced because you had nothing left. You were silenced because you were tired of explaining pain to someone who knew exactly what they had done. You were silenced because your heart needed protection. You were silenced because you were finally learning that not every battle deserves your energy. That they watch you suffer and feel comfortable and felt comfortable. They saw you overthinking. They saw you overthinking. They saw you trying to understand their coldness. They saw you blaming yourself for the way they treated you. They saw you struggling to hold yourself together, and instead of taking responsibility, they acted like your pain was proof that you were weak. That was the cruelty. They made you feel like you lost because they knew how badly you cared. They knew you wanted honesty. They knew you wanted peace. They knew you wanted the connection to survive. So they use your love as a place to hide their selfishness. They gave you silence when you needed answers. They gave you blame when you needed accountability. They gave you confusion when you needed clarity. They gave you emotional distance when you needed reassurance. And for a while, it felt like a nightmare. You could not understand you could not understand how someone could hurt you and still sleep peacefully. You could not understand how they could act innocent after creating so much pain. You could not understand how they could move around freely while you were left trying to repair the damage. But slowly, something changed. You stopped waiting for them to become honest. You stopped begging for closure from someone who kept creating confusion. You stopped asking why they could not love you correctly. You stopped giving them more chances to repeat the same disrespect. That was when your healing began. It did not happen loudly. It happened in quiet decisions. It happened when you chose not to reply. It happened when you stopped checking for their reaction. It happened when you accepted that peace would cost it happened when you accepted that peace would cost you access to people who keep disturbing it. And now the story has turned. The life they thought they escaped into is not as peaceful as they expected. The people they ran to do not understand them the way you did. The attention they chase does not comfort them the way your loyalty did. The freedom they bragged about does not feel as full as they wanted it to look. Now they are secretly living your nightmare. They are overthinking in silence. They are wondering why things do not feel right. They are questioning the people around them. They are feeling the same emptiness they once left you to carry alone. But they cannot say it openly. They cannot admit that that they are struggling after acting like they won. They cannot admit that losing you affected them after pretending you meant nothing. They cannot admit that the new life they showed off is not giving them the peace they expected. They cannot admit that your absence has become heavier than their pride. So they are and so they performed. They performed. They smile in public, they act on border, pretend everything is fine. They post like they are happy, but behind the scenes, they are restless. But behind the scene, they are restless, and that is the secret. They are living with regrets they do not want anyone to see. They are living with guilt they keep trying to silence. They are living with memories they thought would disappear. They are living with the truth that the person they hurt was also the person who genuinely cared. And your healing is making it worse, and your healing is making it worse for them, because you are no longer where they left you. You are no longer begging for answers. You are no longer carrying their rejection like proof that you have no value. You are no longer stuck in the pain they thought would define you. You became stronger, you became calmer, you became wiser, you became harder to reach. That is why they are uncomfortable now. They thought your loss would make them look powerful, but your growth is making them look careless. Your thoughts is making them look careless. They thought your silence meant defeat, but your silence became discipline. They thought your pain would keep you small, but your pain became the place where you rebuild yourself. Now they are facing the fallout. They are realizing that they called victory. They are realizing that what they called victory was only temporary. They are realizing that hurting you did not bring them peace. They are realizing that replacing you did not erase what you meant. They are realizing that the nightmare they created for you has now found its way back to them. And maybe they will never tell the truth. Maybe they will keep acting proud. Maybe they will keep pretending they are happy. Maybe they will keep telling people they moved on. But deep down, they know they are not as free as they wanted everyone to believe. They know the silence is different. They know the silence is different now. Before your silence was pain. Before your silence was pain. Now your silence is powerful. Before you were quiet because you were hurting. Now you are quiet because you are healing. And that difference is destroying the story they told themselves. They thought you lost because they saw you broke down. They did not understand that breaking down was not the end of you. It was the beginning of you finally seeing the truth clearly. Now they are secretly living your nightmare because the pain they caused did not disappear. It waited for them. It followed them into their quiet moments. It reminded them that you cannot destroy someone genuine and expect your own peace to remain untouched. They thought you lost, but now they are secretly living your nightmare. While you are quietly rebuilding a life, a life they no longer have the power to disturb. Thank you for watching.